With the new 2.5 update in Wuthering Waves, we finally knew somewhat of the Rover's personality and how he is, in my opinion, the biggest hypocrite in Gacha gaming. In this episode, we're gonna talk about all of the aspects that made him this way, the things that Rover did to phrolova, and how he didn't do it to other characters. Even if you really don't follow the story of Wuthering Waves a lot, you can kinda understand what I'm talking about here. The 2.5 story is probably the best story that I've seen in Wuthering Waves, but this opinion will change if they didn't do what they should do. So of course, as always, I'm not gonna waste your time. Let us go straight into it and see why Rover is a hypocrite. Now, we all knew from the start that Rover lost his memory. And with the time, we knew that he lost it on purpose. He was the one that erased it. We knew that this was a pretty risky thing from the start and things like that. But with the phrolova story, we just realized that he chose to lose his memory knowing he will cause pain to other people. Knowing that he will not fulfill a lot of promises. Mind you, we're talking about thousands of years, and we only saw one disappointment from this guy. We saw the hundreds of times that phrolova felt failure. The amount of time that she waited for Rover to come back, but he never did. And when they finally met and to actually tell him what was happening, he kills her. And even if you're gonna say that Rover lost his memory, I liked the fact that he was indifferent to her, but after listening to some things, after seeing more of a backstory and knowing that he was probably on the wrong here, he decided to say, I'm the main character, I'm never wrong. That was the thing, and I don't care if that was the whole Rover personality from the start. But bro did the impossible for Shorekeeper, let alone actually saving Cartethia in a way that will put so many lives at risk. So the decision making with Rover was pretty different with the time. And it's like bro made the really probably bad decision with erasing his memory. Maybe there is a lot of other reasons, of course, but that was so risky. And in the same time, even when he lost his memory, even if it's probably a different personality, bro is a hypocrite. Especially when phrolova was actually kind of convincing, and he probably would have had so many other choices than what he chose. And of course, by the way, as I said, this is the best story that I've seen because I really like when they do take a character in the story and actually kill him for real. This will give so much weight to the story, and I've said this since months. I've said that this is something that is lacking in Wuthering Waves. If they do this, this will give the story way more elements and it will make it better. Because they killed her and released her in the same time, and phrolova was really a cool character with a different gameplay. And by the way, if you're planning to pull for phrolova or her weapon and you're gonna spend some Lunite, you probably want to save some cash, right? Then LD Shop is your best play to do that. I'll show you exactly why. LD Shop offers huge discounts on almost everything you can buy in your favorite gacha games. For example, let's check out Wuthering Waves. The monthly pass normally costs $5, but on LD Shop, it's only $3.84. Pretty great, right? Claiming these discounts is super simple. Just pick the item you want, click top up, and complete your payment. You'll need your current linked account email, password, and username, and for other gachas, you only need your UID. I know it might feel a bit off, but LD Shop already handles sensitive accounts data through their emulator, LD Player. So they're very safe and trusted, plus they've got excellent 4.9 reviews on Trustpilot. Once your payments go through, just wait a few minutes and your items will appear in your account. And here's the best part, new users will get a 15% discount plus an extra 5% off when you use my link in the description and first comment. And if you spend $80 or more in a month, you will get a free Lunite subscription on top of that. So don't miss out, click on the link in the description and start saving with LD Shop today. And so yeah, phrolova was really cool, and making a character and killing it in the same time, especially after being in the story and probably being the main antagonist in the story since the start. But again, we also saw how she was different and actually working with the Fraccidus, not being really working for them, you know. She had her own intentions, her own goals, and the Fraccidus were kind of using her and she was using them. So this is a problem with how Rover is making his decisions. And now after the Cartethia and the Black Shores thing, this decision in itself will probably cause so many problems. Unless they decide to write something lazy, but I hope that they knew what they did with the story in making Rover do these decisions. Because this could be a really great story with what Rover did till now. Yes, I said he's a hypocrite, but this could cause something crazy and really cool. I do love the fact that phrolova stood on own business and didn't really become on our side. And this whole Wuthering Waves story was received pretty positively, even though we lost a character. And this is what I want. If this is received positively, people will like it more and the devs will do it more. Now, I don't know about the CN side, because in China, sometimes we're kind of disagreeing on things than global, especially when it comes to a story that is a little dark. So I don't know, if someone knows what CN thinks about the new story for Wuthering Waves, you can type it in the comment and I'll probably pin it there. But anyway, going back to Rover. Now, it's been a year since Wuthering Waves came out, and we've been doing so many story quests and seeing how Rover does. And he was like this solo leveling character, the character that is very powerful, that can do anything, that can, you know, always saves the day. And you might say, why am I saying this? It's because this is how much responsibility this character has, and he's building it even more. Like, we don't even know how much this character did before losing his memory and who he is exactly. But as far as you can see, you can already tell that he did a lot of things in the story or in this world as a whole. And now we don't know what he did, and he's still doing a lot of other things even after losing his memory. So that's why it's important, and he has to be careful with what he does and all of his decision making. So now, losing phrolova is one thing, but whenever he does so many other decisions, he probably is putting the whole world at risk. And I'm saying this because you can see that Rover sometimes is kind of emotional. He doesn't do things from logic. And this story itself changed a lot of people's perspectives and made people think a lot. Like, a lot of people said that this is probably the first story in Wuthering Waves that left them feel kind of empty when they finished it. And this is all because right now we kind of don't know what we're really doing. Like, this is good, by the way. This is really good that a lot of people are asking now, are we actually the good guys or not? And if they really do this on purpose, like, again, I know that I'm saying this a lot, but I hope this is happening on purpose. They know what they're doing, you know, because this has so much potential. It's kind of so vague that they have so much freedom to do something really good. They can do a big reveal, not one, but a lot of big reveals that can change the story and make a lot of other things make so much more sense. So not knowing if Rover is a good or a bad person, and actually seeing some people hating Rover and other people really loving Rover for what he did and how he stood on business, is something that I really liked. It's a really cool thing that they did. And you know, the story had so many other elements that made it better for some people in this version, especially the fact that it feels more cinematic. There were so many cutscenes and improvements to using the cameras in storytelling. You know, the story was told pretty well. They succeeded in what they wanted to show us. And this is really cool. Like, if we talk about the story and the story overall and the writing, we can see how Wuthering Waves is kind of improving with every patch with this. Like, you know, there were some inconsistencies with the writing of Wuthering Waves story, and I'm not talking about the start, even after 2.0, but it's like improving with every single update, and this is a really cool thing. And this is what I always say, I like getting into a story that will make you think, that will make you feel for the characters, that gives weight to other characters other than the main character. Because to be honest, this is another problem with Wuthering Waves in my opinion. Again, I said he's the character from solo leveling, and you could see that Wuthering Waves kind of gives less time to side characters and give them better story, and actually gives Rover more development. And you know, Rover is a cool character, he's written pretty well, and for now he looks like he's gonna be a really cool character in terms of writing, but they give him too much time compared to other characters. Yes, he's the main character, but you have to know that other characters exist, and actually giving them a better story and better backstory will be really cool. You know, you should make us feel more with characters, and this is what they did with phrolova. This is perfect. But you know, maybe making other side characters' decisions more important is what I'm aiming for. Maybe they could affect the story more now, so I would really like to see this. And of course you could tell that I'm talking about the side characters that are playable, because this is how it should be. But I can see why they're not doing this, and especially with this story, it kind of shows you that Rover should be way more important than he is, and maybe they wanna tie every single decision to Rover so that in the future everything he did will be either his own fault or will be the main reason of him saving the world. So yeah, I could see if they go with the other way, but at least they still should give more depth to the other characters and probably more weight to the story as what we saw with phrolova now. Great story, great presentation, but that doesn't deny the fact that Rover is still a big hypocrite. And yeah, that was kind of a different video. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Kick. And if you want to help the channel grow even more, you can become a member and help me elevate my content even more. And huge thanks to everyone who's donating these days with the Streamlabs link in the description. I really appreciate all of the love and the comments and the likes and everything like that. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye.